I belong to you in all situations. I belong to you in every way. I wanna thank you for all that you've done. For years I've been lost, now I am found. Without you in my life I have nothing.
Good afternoon, people. I've just come home for lunch. I beg, let me remove my uniform. I'm coming. I've just come home for lunch. Actually, I've literally started eating, and I remember vlogmas day 3. And I'm really excited about this vlogmas. So Abby, what are you doing at home? You people know we're in December. Money no day for eating out. So I've come home, fried some egg. I have this leftover chips since I think Saturday. The boys did not eat it, so I left it in the fridge. I warmed the chips up, fried egg, have some ketchup beside it, in coffee. That's what I'm eating for lunch. I have literally like less than 30 minutes to be honest. And I guess since we're doing vlogmas, people cannot see my face, eh? Yeah, this place is better. This place is better. So how have you guys been? You guys should like let me know how you're enjoying this vlogmas. Are you keeping up? Oh my god, yesterday I stayed up so late because I was catching up on all my, why is this thing not focusing on me? Phone calls. Yes, finally I was catching up on all my favorite YouTubers. This today doing vlogmas. I couldn't sleep. Like I was like, I need to see what's happening. I need to watch. It's very addictive. I don't know. When you watch all this vlog, but it's so much fun. Like I really like it. So I went bed late. Let me eat some, please, because I'm just talking. I don't know how to do two things together, like talk and eat. I can't. So let me quickly munch this. We need to save money. I need to carry my coffee, and I need to carry you guys as well. You know what? I'll drop this downstairs. I'll come back for you guys. I wouldn't leave you guys, not at all. That when I was coming, just about a few minutes ago, it was raining, and I don't have umbrella. It's only those Jordan and Jaden's umbrella. I don't joke with weather, cold weather. We've got to keep warm. Okay, my coffee is downstairs. Let me wear my shoe, guys. You got me feeling, constantly wanting. The way you wind it, it's killing. The way you wind it, I gotta have it. It'll make me happy. Hello. You guys thought I left you at home, right? I was doing all this YouTuber metrics, and they go in, put the camera down, do all this thing. Anyways, guys, guess what I forgot? My coffee. And I was doing metrics. Metrics 101. Hope I wasn't covering the distance. Anyway, I've decided to walk because I got to the road. There was a lot of traffic, and I don't think I want to sit down in that traffic. Now this man I've realized, and this road, I don't know if this road is closed, so this man with his Jeep car would have to turn back. So on the main road there's a lot of traffic, so I'm just gonna go through all the shortcuts so I can get back to work. So guys, how are you guys doing? Anyway, I left the vlog this morning. I was like, I'm already doing bad with this vlogmas. By now I was gonna come back home anyway. I was like, I'll just pick it up when I come for my lunch. So guys, let's talk about the church I went to, Spark of Nation. I mean, if you're in the UK, I mean, there was a time that, you know, everyone was saying this church was organized, or it's like a cultist, and it just had like a bad impression. Like the church, I've got like a bad stigma to it. Like, and even when my brother told me, I was filming, I was like, why would you go to such a church like that? Blah blah blah. You know, sometimes my hand is killing me, if I'm not going to lie. But I'm a talk my talk. Sometimes, I mean, I've been there as well. When you tell young kids stuff, they just never listen. I mean, I was once a youth, so I know. And I know my brother, I've never seen or noticed any act of maybe disrespect or maybe joining groups and all that. But I was just not a fan of the church because of a lot of things that have been said. This church is owned by a Nigerian man. He said his father used to be a pastor, so he decided to start his own church. And yesterday was literally my first time going to that church. And to be honest, I didn't even close my eyes and pray in that church because I was like, I don't want to pray, I don't want to say amen, because you've heard a lot. I don't know if let me rest my hand for 1 minute. I'm coming. Anyway, I've rested my hand a bit. So the first thing that you hear about the church, to be honest, is that it is full of young kids, so age between 13, 14, 15, 16. The oldest people there were people like my age, and I'm 28. Like, that's the oldest. I would say the population of the worshippers in the church, 90% of them are young youths. You know, those beautiful girls, handsome boys. Their suits, it's like they cut the suits to their body. Like, I was judging some people, their lashes were and I didn't even wear lashes yesterday. I literally looked like a house girl standing next to all those girls, and with their Louboutins, and the church was packed. There was about, well, the pastor was saying there was about 700 people, including me, in that church yesterday. It wasn't even a church, it was a cricket center. So they rented the place for the program. They were doing a program. They had people coming from Leicester, they had people coming from Manchester. I love all these young girls from university. They were coming to the church. So what did I want to say? When you hear about what people say about things, sometimes you just have that impression, that bad impression, and be like, okay. But I feel like my own, I hope it's not too windy, guys. It's a bit windy. I don't know. My impression really changed because I saw the pastor, I saw the way he was preaching, and I can understand why. Yeah, it's really windy. I hope you guys can still hear me. I can understand why he had started his own ministry. This is my own opinion, though. I think he's starting a new generation of believers, of church, of, you know, of younger kids to be interested in going to church or doing things for God. Come on, let's think about it. Like, most of all our churches is run or is being held by elderly people, or you know, then you have the youths in one corner, but mainly the church is held by mostly elderly people. And sometimes some youth just don't want to go to church because they don't feel like they fit in the church. But in that church, you will literally see the people that you kind of relate to based on the way the youth of this generation think. If I was 16 years old and I have the same mentality as them now, would I go to that church? Yes. I'll never miss church. I'll never miss church. I'll never miss church, because you have people that you can relate to there. It's not like for the rich kids or something. It's just for everyone. I saw some girls there. I mean, there were some girls that were not wearing makeup and they didn't feel like, oh, we don't belong. Like, I feel like it's for the youth. You know, life has changed. There's social media, there's all these things and all that. So the way the church is being designed has also changed, and it's just weird that it's mostly the youth that is in that church. So it just feels like the adults cannot fit in because it's not their time, it's not what they're used to. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, if everyone always talk about that church, and I'm always like, I don't know what I mean. I remember exactly the first time my brother told me he was going to the church. I was like, what? But it's taller than me now. What can I do? Can I come outside, be dragging him and all that? But I personally think it's a good church. The only thing, my leg is paining me. I want to find somewhere to sit down. They won't chase me here because I need to sit down. I'm still like, I still have like a little bit of time because I beat the traffic. And yeah, let me continue what I was saying. So the only thing that for me was that when the pastor was praying, he was saying things that I'm like, okay. So he was mentioning, no, I just feel like it's actually normal what he was saying, because you guys know how the UK is. The UK is mainly full of kids with, you know, you guys know, kids from broken homes, kids from, like, you know, our parents does not have enough money, you know, parents being like, you know, struggling, single mother and all that. So it was like, if you know you are in the gang and you've come here, because it was a lot of them, if you're in the gang and you've come here, God is telling me you've come here with a gun, come and drop it. I was like, people went inside church store with gun. Like, it was like telling them, if you're a drug addict or if you're a drug dealer and you have drugs in your hand, it's time for you to come and surrender. It's all, you know, God is willing to accept you for who you are. You don't need to be ashamed, things like that. I was like, because I'm not used to things like this. Like, I'm not used to going to church and pastor telling people to come and drop their gun, and, you know, saying that some spirits, Holy Ghost, not some spirits, sorry, Holy Ghost spirits told you that somebody has come in with gun and all that. I was like, So after a while, it was not like, oh yes, they didn't come out to drop it, but they left it somewhere. I was like, sure. So basically, like, so the person dropped it somewhere. It was like, I don't know exactly what he said they dropped. I don't know if it was gone, if it was drugs. I was like, so for me, that's a little bit worried, but that's what you expect from young kids in this country. Let's be honest. If some people want to start thinking that, oh, their children are one kind, only, you know, some kids, this is how they get into like drugs, you know, by friends, or into like, you know, helping kids to hold gun, you know, things like that. Like, I'm 50-50 into the old church thing, but I'm not saying everyone there is good, and I'm not saying everyone there is bad. So it's either way, because to be honest, kids of these days, and when I mean kids of these days, let's say from age 16 to 22, the kind of church that we have been brought up to go to, they don't, to be honest, they can't be bothered there. They just go there because their mom has forced them to go there, or they just go. They don't fit in. They just feel like they don't fit in. But when they go to that church, you fit in. Like you feel like as a teenager, you fit in. You know, I don't even know. It's mixed feeling, because even normal church self, you go to the church, you feel intimidated by people with their gele, people with their ashoke, people with their, you know, this and that. So let's talk less of this church that young kids are wearing Louis Vuitton, young kids are driving like nice car. Even the pastor was even saying something like he lives in a 1-bedroom apartment with his wife and his kids. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he said. He even also said, oh, that if young kids, which I agree with him, he was like, because to be honest, I'm like, how can young kids at 16, because they were like 16 years old, being ordained as a evangelist? I was like, how can you, even my head, I was like, how, even my brother was like, how can it be a young evangelist or pastor? They are still young. But he mentioned something like their child at like 13, they are prostitute, they are young kids that are 13, that they are drunkard, they are young kids that they are 16, that they are drug dealers. So why can't a 16 years old be an evangelist? Which I kind of agree with him. If, you know, if he can change them and make the crime rates in this country reduce, because the church started from 11:30, we didn't live there till 5. Look at that time that he kept all those young kids, you know, and all of them were there, like they were not even rushing to go. When I left, the people were still upstairs, they were not ready to go. So for him to have kept them in that church for that long, it's also a good thing as well. 11:30 to, they didn't finish like maybe 5, I don't know, that's when I left. So for me, I think is a thing a parents or is a church, if your child wants to go there, is for you to go there, because of course everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome to go to the church. Go there if it's something that you like. If it's not something that you like, I don't know. It's just like the way social media is. It's just the way kids are doing, the way kids are behaving these days. It's not every parent that like it. But you just have to accept like life has changed. Sorry, the way things was running when we were 20 years ago is not the way things are right now. So we have to adapt. Look at me talking like an old woman. I beg my people, let me go and make money. Because I can't be sitting down there now and not make money. But that was my experience. To be honest, I'm always like, you go to that church? Every time he comes there, I'm always, come to my church now. Come, there are youth people there. It's like, auntie, oh, the church is this. My other brother that was playing the thing, he goes to different churches to play that. I don't think that's his church, but he goes to different church to play the saxophone. I don't know what that thing, but that thing is hard to play. So he plays the saxophone, and my other, I mean, even if they ordain him there as a prophet, he can live there and, you know, go and join another church, or if he's still there, he wants to stay. You never know where God will call you. So that's my experience here, my people. I'm sorry this whole vlog is all about talking, but I know a lot of people have had a lot. They even said there was one child, which I watched, because I watched the program, the documentary on BBC about the church. There was one child, it wasn't like, I don't know if it was a gang member or they mistakenly, you know, sometimes in this country, God should be helping us, they mistakenly stabbed him and all that. He almost died or something. And you know, he was living in all this our council estate. Mostly all these children that get into gang are kids from, you know, we're not rich in this country. People should not come and deceive you that when you're in the UK you're rich. The sufferness we suffer in this country no be small. So the child, you know, after they stabbed him, I think he said he got stabbed everywhere. He survived it, then he gave his life to Christ, then he started going to the church. I think now he's a pastor, he's driving, he's doing, most of the kids there are doing well. They're even doing well more than us. They were 16 years old, then there were about 3 16-year-old girls. They were like CEO of something. When they were calling them, I was like, sure, all this small picking, See all my children, all my mates, they are CEO of something. I mean, me, I'm here. Body, 2 kids together, juggling job. So, my people, I go enter work now. I go make this small money. This is how my own generation is. That's how their own generation is. So, we cannot be judgy like that. We have to also put our feet in their shoes. If I was that age, I think they will understand me more in that church. That's just my own opinion, Sha. Bye bye. See ya. I'm upset. Can you guys see it's raining? It's raining.
JK's on the beat tonight, killing this beat here. You know you want it.
People, the rain has wired me today. What are those boys banging upstairs? The rain really finished me. I'm so tired and cold. The boys are upstairs. What do you want, Jordan? I'll come and give you tin. I'm coming. Okay? Okay. The boys are upstairs. I'm tired. I'm gonna end. The cold has catch me. I need to drink something cold, hot. I thought I would enter this vlog now because the vlog is gonna be long. Thank you guys so much. Is this rain now? Started on my head. My hair is not itchy. Thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow.